What is good, y'all? It's your boy Ty here, and we're back with another Gotham Knights video. And yesterday we got the last IGN first video for Gotham Knights, and I think we won't be seeing this game for a good month. Mainly we'll probably see like another trailer like 2 weeks before the game releases, but other than that, I personally don't think we'll see a lot. At most we'll see Twitter videos. But let's talk about this video. We got a lot of new information regarding villain knights, you know, in-game possibilities and gear systems and more. So no further ado, let's get right into it, because you know your boy's hyped. Okay, so first off, I gotta say this because, you know, a lot of people that watch my videos, I see that some people comment and they talk about stuff that I've talked about a while ago, that the developers of this game talked about a lot ago. This is not the Arkham series. This game has nothing to do with the Arkham series, and I gotta say this multiple times. I'm getting tired of saying it, but you know, it has to be said because a lot of people seem to not know. They don't keep up with the game as much as I do, so I'll just say it again. This is not an Arkham game. To the main topic. So first of all, we have the option in Gotham Knights from the start of the game. You know, I'm assuming from the prologue, after the prologue, because you're gonna do the prologue, of course. You have access to the entire Gotham City map. Okay, they say this in this video. We're gonna be able to play anywhere in Gotham. We're gonna be able to go anywhere we want and just explore in any way, in any fashion we want. Right? If you guys didn't know, I think this game is gonna play story-wise. With the main story is gonna be Court of Owls. And you're gonna be trying to find clues and stuff just to lead to new missions and stuff like that with the Court of Owls. But talking about side villains, so such as Mr. Freeze, Harley Quinn, Clayface, possibly Man-Bat, since he was you know, talked about in the little gameplay with Batgirl, the 60-minute gameplay for the prologue of the game. So he might be a villain. Those characters will be side quests, right? But it's not like a regular old like side quest where you do the quest once and, you know, possibly has like 2 more missions after that, or maybe none at all. These are full-on like mini story mode. From the first gameplay we ever seen, we seen the Mr. Freeze thing, right? And that Mr. Freeze, you know, gameplay with Batgirl and Robin, they had, you know, the hospital, the Elliott hospital, it was just frozen. Mr. Freeze was taking over and he was doing some diabolical stuff, you know, in Mr. Freeze fashion. And I think that's going to be what they talked about as a villain night. So going from the side quest, you're going to be doing the side quest, finding out what these villains are doing. Let's use Mr. Freeze as an example. You're going to find clues, find goons, find things that he's been doing around town until that villain night where you actually go and confront him and try to stop him and put a stop to his plan. That's when the villain nights come in. It's gonna change how the city looks. Just look right at the Elliott hospital. It's gonna change that. It's gonna turn that to ice. Harley stuff is probably gonna change. Clayface, you know, we see in the trailer, he's like just shape shifting around town. You're chasing them on a bike in the trailer that we got for the villains, you know, etc. And you know, we might see more with other villains. These villain nights are going to be just the boss fight time. It's gonna be the final, you know, like, you know, key to the coffin of these side quests. And that's what I think, and that's what I picked up from what they were saying. That's what villain nights are going to be. Other villains besides the Court of Owls are going to be side quests. They're all going to be side quests. The only main story thing we have is going to be with the Court of Owls, which I like because I think it's a better thing to do than just trying to, you know, build these characters into the main story, like, you know, building them into, you know, the Court of Owls story. Like, I mean, I think there's ways you can do it, but I think it's just cool and it gives, you know, the player more to do. Now, they did talk about, you know, the Belfry and things you can do. So as we know, when you're in the Belfry, it's daytime, and then when you go out on patrols, it's nighttime, of course. But during the Belfry, you have things you can do. You can look for clues and just evidence and stuff like that. There's also gear crafting. It seems like we're going to be seeing a lot of our gear through gear crafting. And in this video, we did get a little footage of, you know, Batgirl switching to Jason Todd, and then we got to see his gear. So gear crafting is probably going to be your best bet. I don't know if it's going to be look based. I think some of it might be look based, but at the same time, that just might be cosmetics with the suits and stuff. You might unlock those from just doing like the character challenges and stuff like that, because there are character challenges, and you know, that just might be it. But with the Belfry, you're gonna be able to just do a lot of investigation, and then when you go on patrol, you'll be able to do like crimes and solve crimes and stuff like that during your patrol. There's no time limit of being in the Belfry and being inside or out on patrol, which is a good thing. Whenever you leave, that's when the night's over. Whenever you feel like you want to go back to the Belfry, so you can do all the crimes and you don't have to worry about a time limit with the crimes. I like that feature. Some might, but I think it's a good feature because it allows the player to do everything they want to do. Another thing is with certain crimes, if you fail to do the crimes, they did say something about these crimes leading up to bigger things. Also, how you can't replay these crimes. So maybe you might miss, some goons like, hijacking, crates at a dock or something. And if you fail to complete that or stop them, that could lead into like a bank heist. I did hear something about, them talking about a bank heist. So I think that might be pretty cool. Maybe you want to let some of the criminals just go so you can just stop the bigger things, but at the same time, maybe you don't. So I don't know. I feel like that's cool. That could bring a lot of playability or different playthroughs and stuff like that. A lot more playability after you beat the game the first time, because then you can just go back and see different options and different ways of how solving certain crimes and not solving certain crimes could affect your game. One more thing I want to talk about is I do think that Gotham Knights might have one of the best co-op experiences ever in video games. Now, some of you might be thinking I'm reaching, but with this untethered gameplay and just the fact that you can just go off and do other things while your other teammate can just do other stuff and you're not, just tied together with doing quests, I think that's amazing. I think that's great. Like, I could be going to, solve the main story thing while my friend goes beats up Mr. Freeze during his villain night. Like, I just think that's a really good experience. But at the same time, you're not going to want to do that most of the time. You might, separate to do certain crimes, like smaller crimes and stuff, and then meet up during the big stuff. That's still cool because, in my opinion, I was talking to one of my boys, shout out Greed. We were talking about it and I was like, yo, it makes you feel like you're in the comic, right? You're in the city where there's all these heroes and you're all doing your own thing, but then there's times where you can just come together. And like they said in the IGN video, like one of the developers said, you could be doing your own thing and Batarang, and then Batgirl drops down and she starts helping you. Like, I thought that was cool, and I instantly started thinking about a bunch of scenarios about it on like how things like that can happen after I heard that. But nevertheless, I just think that's going to be really cool towards the co-op experience in this game. And it seems like the developers really wanted to push the co-op, and I think they should have, because a lot of people have wanted co-op in the Batman game, this scale, and I think they're giving us what a lot of people wanted. So I'm messing with that. And the final thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about the end game. Now, a lot of people were telling me that an end game was not possible, that it wasn't going to happen. All right, no hate towards you, but I gotta say, I did call it out. All right, I did say there might be an end game. Now, we did get some confirmation that there will be an end game in Gotham Knights, right? But we don't have necessarily a lot of information regardless. IGN shot out some ideas thinking about raids, like MMO style raids and stuff like that. Maybe they could be like, I don't want to compare it to Avengers, but I'm gonna just use it for an example, such as like, fighting, Monstero, I think that's his name. I don't know, Maestro or whatever, the Hawk, when you do that little like Destiny strike-ish thing and you fight, the boss at the end. Like, that could be a cool little thing. Just missions like that, fighting Abomination and Avengers. It could be like that, but a Gotham Knights version. Maybe you're not gonna, do it as like a villain night. It'd probably just be, just going and fighting these characters, and then that's how you get high gear or whatever, like legendary gear or something. And I think that would be pretty cool. Or just the materials to craft legendary gear. I think that would be pretty cool. It makes me want to play the game more when there's in-game stuff like that, and just more stuff I can build towards, and just seeing stuff like that. So personally, I think that's a good idea. But other than that, that's really most of what they talked about. I'm really excited for the game. The release date The release date got pushed up, so that's pretty cool. It got pushed up by a few days, so I will be missing school that whole week, unfortunately, because they pushed it up on days that I got class. But other than that, what do you guys think about, you know, this IGN first? Did you guys enjoy the IGN first month for Gotham Knights? Let me know in the comments. And what do you think the end game is gonna be like? I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. But no further ado, it's been your boy Ty. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. It lets me know you like the video. And I'm out.
Subscribe.